Welcome in, everyone, to Lively Lewis Stories.
That's right, we're back with even more awesome adventures with Levi and Ivy.
Set your storytime meter to fun and get ready to join the Lively Lewis crew.
All you need is your imagination and...
Off we go!
I can't wait to see where our story takes us today.
Have you ever wanted to get more Lively Lewis in your life?
Well, we've got you covered.
Grab an adult and zoom over to livelylewisshop.com.
Or just click on the link in our show notes.
Enough about that. Let's get to today's super Lively Lewis story.
One day while drying in her playroom, Ivy got a surprise from her mom. "Hey, Ivy, take a look at what I just bought you," said her mom as she walked into the playroom. "I was at the store and I found this amazing pen. I thought you'd have a good time drawing with it. After all, it's everything you love. It's sparkly, it's purple, and it looks like a magic wand." Ivy's eyes opened wide as she looked at the pen in front of her. It was amazing. "I love it, Mom. Thank you so much," shouted Ivy as she hugged her mom and grabbed the pen. "I wonder what I'll draw first. How about a big cheeseburger for me? I didn't eat lunch today and I'm starving," said her mom as she walked out of the room. "Have fun. Can't wait to see what you draw." Ivy grabbed a new piece of paper and decided she would start off by drawing a cheeseburger for her mom. After all, she was the one who bought her the pen. It would be a nice little gift for her. But as Ivy started drawing the burger bun, she noticed the color of ink in the pen was the perfect light tan for a bun. "That's funny," she thought as she kept drawing. "What a strange color for pen ink to be." She didn't give it too much thought until she moved on to the lettuce and noticed that the color of the ink changed to green right before her eyes. It certainly caught her attention, and she studied the pen closely to see if she could figure out how this cool color change was happening. But she didn't notice anything. It just looked like a regular, sparkly, purple wand-shaped pen. Ivy stopped thinking about it because she was so impressed with how great and realistic her cheeseburger drawing was looking. However, when she moved on to the cheese, the same thing happened. Now her pen ink was yellow. She quickly moved on to the burger patting, and of course, her pen ink was now the color of a perfectly cooked burger. But now something new was happening. Ivy could swear that as she drew, she could smell burgers cooking. "That's weird," she thought. "But maybe Mom is making a cheeseburger since she was thinking about one before." Ivy again didn't think anything more about the cool color-changing pen and added some red tomato slices, green pickles, and purple onions to finish off her cheeseburger drawing. "That looks incredible," whispered Ivy to herself as she stared at the drawing on her paper. "It almost looks good enough to eat." She turned away from her drawing table and called her mom in to have a look, but when she turned back, what she saw on her table was definitely not a drawing of a cheeseburger, but rather a real cheeseburger. Ivy's mom appeared in the doorway to the playroom and asked why she called her in there. Ivy panicked, not knowing what to tell her mom about the burger, and quickly said she just needed a glass of water. "Okay, I'll be right back with your water," said Ivy's mom. "And do you smell cheeseburgers by any chance? That's so strange. Maybe I should make them for dinner since I was talking about them before." Ivy couldn't believe her eyes as she turned back when her mom left. "This is no ordinary pen," Ivy said softly, studying the pen once again. "It's definitely more magic wand than anything else. What am I going to do with it? And this cheeseburger." So before her mom walked back into the playroom with her water, Ivy hid the cheeseburger under her drawing table. As she waited, she just had to test out the pen again and see if this was a one-time thing. So Ivy decided to draw a glass of water. The color of the pen's ink changed to all the color she needed to draw the most realistic glass of water ever. And then she only blinked once before it was no longer a drawing, but an actual glass of water sitting in front of her. That's when she heard, "Ivy, what's that?" from her mom, who had walked in from the playroom. Ivy was startled and didn't know what her mom was looking at. "I thought you said you needed me to bring you a glass of water, but there's one right in front of you," said her mom before she turned to leave. "I'll be in the kitchen making cheeseburgers for dinner if you need me." But before she left, Ivy called out, "Mom, where exactly did you get this pen?" "I had to stop at the magic shop and get Levi a new deck of magic cards," replied her mom. "There was just one left sitting by the register, and the girl working there said she thought it was for sale and sold it to me for $1. Good deal, huh?" Ivy's mom left, and now Ivy was starting to put the pieces of this magic pen puzzle together. "This is for sure a magic wand, masquerading as a pen," Ivy thought to herself. "And I'm pretty sure it wasn't for sale. I need to get it back to the magic shop, but first I kind of want to draw one more thing." As she thought about what to draw, Ivy decided to eat the cheeseburger. It was wonderful. Just as the thought of being able to draw anything and have it come to life right there before her was a lot to think about. She could draw a mountain of ice cream or a new dollhouse. Maybe she could draw a unicorn or a dinosaur. She quickly decided against those two things because they would probably be pretty hard to hide. Ivy finally decided to draw a new teddy bear, thinking that would be easy to hide away, and honestly, it would mix in with all her other stuffed toys so her mom would never know. Then she would bring the magic pen right back to the magic shop. Ivy drew the most perfect teddy bear stuffed toy she could think of, not leaving out one little cute detail. She was so pleased with what she had drawn, it was just perfect. Ivy couldn't wait to see her new toy in person, so she slowly blinked her eyes, and when she opened them, there it was! Her brand new teddy bear looking even better than it did in her drawing. She picked it up and gave it a big squeeze, and that's when she heard, "I know you're excited, Ivy, but not so tight." It didn't take Ivy very long to figure out where the voice was coming from. She slowly held the teddy bear out in front of her and looked at it eye to eye. When the teddy bear's eyes slowly blinked back at her, Ivy knew she was in over her head. "Oh no, what did I do?" asked Ivy out loud. "You were supposed to be a teddy bear, a stuffed toy, not a real bear." "Ivy, hey Ivy, calm down," said the little bear. "It's okay. Just imagine if you drew a unicorn or a dinosaur, right?" Ivy gave the teddy bear a tiny smile and placed her down on the drawing table. "What's my mom going to say when she sees a real-life talking teddy bear in our house?" asked Ivy. "You don't need to worry about that. You just need to get me back to the magic shop, along with the magic pen," said the teddy bear. "And by the way, in all the commotion, I never introduced myself. My name is Abra. You know, like abracadabra." "I get it. Very cute," replied Ivy, still looking a little nervous about everything that was going on. "I can help you, and as long as we get back to the magic shop before it closes today, we'll be all set," said Abra. "Why? What happens after the magic store closes today?" asked Ivy. "Well, then I'll be real. Forever," said Abra. "But if you get me back to the shop today, then the magician that works there can use his magic to reverse your drawing, and it all goes back to normal." Ivy knew they had no time to waste. It was getting late and the magic shop closed in about an hour. She ran into the kitchen and told her mom that she loved the pen so much that she wanted to see if there were any more at the magic shop. "It won't take long and I'll be home before dinner." Then she ran out the door holding her backpack with Abra inside. They arrived at the magic shop in no time, and once inside, Ivy saw that the young girl at the counter looked upset. "Hi," said Ivy. "Is the magician who works here available to help me with something?" "I'm really sorry," replied the young girl at the counter, "but he's not. And when he does get back, he'll be too busy yelling at me to help you out." "Why would he be yelling at you?" asked Ivy. "Because I accidentally sold his most magical pen a little while ago, and he's not going to be happy," she said. That's when Ivy reached into her backpack and pulled out the pen. "Do you mean this pen?" she said, placing it on the counter. The young girl was so happy. She jumped up and down, ran around the front of the counter, and hugged Ivy. "Where did you find this? I can't believe you found this," said the young girl. Ivy explained that her mom had bought it for her and then started to explain what had happened with Abra when the door to the magic shop opened. Then in walked the magician who worked there, the Great Kabam. "Hello all, I trust that everyone is having a very magical day," he said, walking behind the counter. "Actually, maybe a little bit too magical," answered Ivy. That's when she told him all about the pen and what happened. "I can't believe you sold my magic pen," the Great Kabam said to the young girl at the counter. "But it's back now. Isn't that great?" she replied. "I suppose, but now we have a big problem to fix because little Ivy drew with it," said the Great Kabam. "Well, it's not a very big problem," said Ivy. "I only drew a teddy bear. It would be a very big problem if I drew a unicorn or a dinosaur." That's when Abra popped out of her backpack. "Yep, I'm not too big, but we definitely have to fix this before your shop closes or else I'll be real forever," said Abra. "Yes, I know," replied the Great Kabam. "And lucky for everyone, this magical pen is one piece of magic equipment I'm very familiar with. It holds such great power and should only be used by a trained professional, like me. Thank you so much, Ivy, for bringing it back, along with Abra. You did the right thing. Now I'll do my thing, and hopefully this will get all back to normal." The young girl behind the counter, along with Ivy and Abra, all stood and watched as the Great Kabam recited some magical words while holding the magic pen and waving it in front of Abra. Magic pen, make this bear a drawing again," said the Great Kabam. But nothing seemed to happen. "It didn't work," said Ivy, feeling a little relieved because she really liked Abra and would be sad to see her go. "It takes a minute." So with only a minute left, Ivy gave Abra a big hug and said she was going to miss her. Abra said the same, and the Great Kabam could tell the two of them had made a connection in just the short time that they had known each other. So he did something special for Ivy with just the wave of his hands. A few more seconds passed, and in the blink of an eye, Abra sat very still on the counter. "Did it work?" asked Ivy with a little tear in her eye. "Abra's still a real teddy bear? She didn't turn back into a drawing?" "That's right, Ivy. I made it so she could still be your teddy bear, but just a stuffed toy now. So you could still have her in your life," said the Great Kabam with a smile. "Thank you so much," said Ivy, picking up Abra. "And thank you for returning my pen," answered the Great Kabam. Ivy hugged Abra, saying goodbye to everyone and headed home, just in time for cheeseburgers. When her mom asked about her trip to the magic shop, Ivy told her how the pen wasn't really supposed to be sold, and she gave it back to the Great Kabam. But as a thank you for returning it, he gave her Abra, the teddy bear. "How sweet of him," said her mom. "She's really cute. Now go ahead and grab a cheeseburger before they get cold." "No thanks, Mom," said Ivy with a little giggle as she looked at Abra. "I had a cheeseburger for lunch." Want to start a podcast? Spotify has an easy free platform called Spotify for Podcasters. Here's how it works. Record and edit your podcast on your phone or computer with ease. Share your podcast on Spotify and all other major platforms. You can even make video podcasts on Spotify. If you want to engage with your audience more, use Q&A and polls. You can earn money through ads and podcast subscriptions. It's completely free, no hidden cost. Give it a try. Visit www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started. We love making our podcast, and working with Spotify has been amazing. Thanks for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the story and learned a little something too.
And since we know everyone has their own story, we'd love to hear yours.
If you have an idea for a Lively Lewis story, leave a comment on our Apple Podcast review page with 5 stars, your idea, and your little one's name.
Then maybe our next adventure will be with you.
Until our next Storytime Hangout.
Thanks for listening. We can't wait to share another fun, Lively Lewis story with you.